We're going to look at the hero in you today. And this always comes from the steps that we've been doing. It begins with grounding, it begins with release, it begins with letting go. And that takes as long as it takes. The lower needs must be met. We cannot will ourselves into our hero. The hero is inside of us, it's not outside. So that's how we're going to approach this today. So instead of letting politicians and media and pandemics and the partners in our household determine our experience, we use intention to take control of our experience. And that's how we're going to approach it. So I wanted to start with this quote from Lord of the Rings. Are you familiar with Lord of the Rings? It's a series of books by Tolkien where hobbits go on an adventure. So hobbits are unlikely, small people, very reluctant to leave their familiar homes to go out into the world to do this dangerous thing. So we have a conversation. Frodo is the main hero. He's the main hobbit, and Gandalf is the wise guide. So it's a conversation between them. And it goes like this. I wish it need not have happened in my time, says Frodo. So do I, says Gandalf. And so do all who live to see such times. But that is not for them to decide. All we have to decide is what to do with the time given to us. We were all called here. You, I, everybody who watches this video, everybody who's doing the work, the inner work at this time. In a large scale, I have no idea what any of this means. I do see that it's part of a large shift. It probably has to do with shifting into the age of Aquarius. The Piscean age has ended, which had order and hierarchy. Aquarius is more about love and equality. There's a shift here, and we souls were called to the planet at this time. We have social media, we have all these means of connecting and amplifying our impact. So the work, the inner work, is really important at this time, and we use intention to access that, not in a willful way, not in an egoic way. It is always about finding your truth within. So we're going to go through a process in our intention setting to do that today. So do you have your paper and your pen handy? Are you ready? Let me see some hearts and thumbs if you're ready, or some questions before we get going. If you have any questions about the techniques that we've used, I want you to have clarity so that this exercise today will be meaningful. And while I'm at that, if you're watching this on a replay, and I know many people are, I'm seeing that it's getting 100 or 200 views, feel free to use the chat box to ask your questions. In real time, we're all connected, and I'm happy to answer them there. I'll be watching. Okay, so let's settle in, get in your place, and check your senses and check in with your body to see how you're doing today, how you're feeling. Follow your breath to your inner core. Look at your day ahead. Just what agreements you have, what appointments you have, what deadlines you have, what tasks you have, what interactions you have. Just let your mind embrace what's ahead of you today. And now imagine you showing up as your best self. As a light, emanating the positive impact just by your presence. Write down some words, just capture them. Sloppy, it doesn't matter. Write down some words that describe showing up as your best self. What are the qualities, characteristics? How do others see you? What would you experience? Write down those words. Now, consider what will be your biggest challenges. Maybe complete the sentence. I am most at risk of losing my best self when ... Capture the first words, first thoughts. I am most at risk of losing my best self when. Is it a situation? Is it a conversation? Is it a person? Just let your wise inner knowing inform you. Sometimes the body speaks to us physically. It can give you a little ping or a tingle. If you feel that happen, follow it and see what words come from it. I am most at risk of losing my best self when. One more breath. Now look at the page in front of you. Look at what you've written. You've written the qualities and traits of your best self, of your true self. These are your gifts. These are uniquely yours. These are where your strengths are. They often seem so obvious that we dismiss them. But those are your heroic qualities. Those are your gifts that you brought to the earth at this time, and that's for you to lean into. That's what will support you. That's what will lift you. So knowing your strengths, expressing them, showing up in them is how you become a hero. We all know Mr. Rogers helped us understand that in times of tragedy or chaos, watch for the heroes. There's always good people. Even at this time with so much ugliness going around outside of us, we have a light within, and that is ours to bring. So if you were watching a movie, those words in front of you describe the hero. The hero is you, but if you were watching the movie, you see her showing up, and you also see his or her kryptonite. You see the weaknesses. You see the things that challenge our hero or put our hero at risk. So watching that movie, if you were watching that movie and your hero were going into the day today that you see ahead of you, and you see the kryptonite up ahead, if you were writing this movie, what does your hero need to show up at his or her best today? What does your hero need to win, to overcome the challenges? What superpowers does your hero need to call on today? Maybe your hero is going to act out today in a heroic way, or maybe your hero is just gathering strength in the desert today. What does your hero need today? Hi, Charisse. That's where your intention is today. Close that gap. What does your hero, if you were watching the movie, if you were writing the movie, and you are writing the movie of your life, and you saw that hero, you know her strengths, you know her kryptonite, you know what's ahead. Take a moment to write some intentions that support your hero in showing up as his or her best self today. I'm going to read you some intentions to support that process. As always, just capture any words that resonate for you. You've got the book now. You can look these up. You can watch the replay if the words really matter. But stay in that place of writing your intention for today, supporting your hero and whatever he or she needs to show up and impact the world positively. So here's the first one. I direct my energies to those I can serve and situations I can improve. This is where my gifts are called. If it feels like a problem, I'm not in the right place. I offer my experience, abilities, and beliefs in loving service to others. I release my puny ideas of what is possible for my life and let the universe lead me to new ways, new places, new faces, new possibilities. The universe asks me to step and to trust there will be ground beneath me. Knowing my ripple effect is infinite, I remind myself to mind my thoughts and actions. My mission beats my heart, breathes my breath, fills my senses. It is all that I am. Today, I give a gift to everyone I encounter. I've got one more, so that'll be the one for the road. It's a little bit long. Before I go, though, are there any questions, or would anybody like to share their words, their intentions? They gain an energy if it feels right. Sharing your intention in a safe space helps to amplify it. Other people will carry it for you, with you, support you in it. So if you have a word or intention, you're safe in writing it here so others can support it. So here's the intention for the road. I will take a picture and post it, and I will quietly close the door to this room and leave you with your intention setting. My path leads me to greater and greater authenticity. I appreciate the opportunities today brings to be true to who I am now, and to act in loving kindness toward family and friends who bless my life. I am grateful here now. Be intentional, my friends.